Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, during these days of global social strife, it's important to make sure that you don't leave the house as much as humanly possible, just to stay away and social distance and all that stuff. But after today, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to leave the house ever again. And if you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean you are in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of industry professionals and pick their brains on current projects, state of the industry, and anything else that we can think of in a fun and conversational fashion. Excuse me. But if you'd like to subscribe to this podcast, and we certainly hope that you would, because you're here right now, you can find us over at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere really where you get your podcasts. And you can find every single one of our episodes archived over on our YouTube channel. Also, we'd love it if you'd follow us on social media. You can do that at In the Seats, at It's Podcast One on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all sorts of updates. And finally, and I dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca for all the latest and greatest movie news, reviews from all sorts of releases and festivals all across the globe, because we got a hardworking team who loves talking about the moving image, and we hope that you do too. But on today's episode, the moving image comes to the forefront, because if you were living under a rock, or if you didn't know, today the Star Plus service just dropped as an add-on to the Disney Plus service. Which is adding all the sort of more grown-up 14 and above content to their site. So in addition to watching your Disney favorites, you can watch things like Die Hard or Predator, or recent Academy Award winners like Shape of Water or The Favorite, or TV shows like How I Met Your Mother, or Criminal Minds, or Sons of Anarchy, or Alias. It really expands their catalog with hundreds and hundreds of more options, and more to come in the days and weeks ahead as Disney and Star really sort of cements their place in the streaming platform. And we got a little sneak preview thanks to our friend Greg Mason, who works over at Walt Disney Studios Canada. He's an executive vice president over there of publicity and other fun things, and gave us a little preview and walked us through all the parental controls, because it's important. They want to have parental controls. You can set things up accordingly for your children, or to have multiple platforms depending on what kind of household you are streaming in. And it just adds the extra layers of content and protection for not just families, but everyone really. It's a good little thing to have, and I can imagine, especially for a company like Disney, it was important to set all that stuff up before they launched. But we talked with Greg about that and a lot of other stuff, and just in terms when it comes to Star and how platforms like this are really kind of changing the future. And I hope you enjoy our talk as we joined in right at the tail end of our little sneak preview, which I gave you a little sneak preview myself. But basically, it's there's a few extra layers when you initially sign into your Disney Plus account for those who already have one to get Star up and running. But it's not hard at all. You'll figure it out. But enjoy our talk with Greg, because I know I did.
So with the addition of Star, we believe we're making Disney Plus that much more compelling for older teens and adults across Canada. And that, Dave Voigt, is your sneak peek. And now you're stuck with me, and you can ask me anything.
Well, I guess the first question is, because, when the merger happened, we all knew this was coming eventually. But it does feel like the pandemic did kind of speed up things, and I'm kind of curious, was this always the timeline to sort of introduce Star, say like a year or a bit after the initial launch of Disney Plus?
Well, truthfully, we do a lot of research when we look at these things, and we did a lot of research in Canada to see what Canadians wanted. And Canadians were very receptive to the general entertainment content within the platform. which personally is the way I think is best, because there's certainly, you know, other platforms that are out there, and it's nice to have it all under one. With that being said, as you can tell from what I just took you through, we had to make sure that the parental controls were Loctite, you know, to be you know, the most compelling for all members of the family.
No, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's one of those things that it's really making the platform much more diverse and much more interesting. And I mean, I'm kind of curious from your perspective, or at least from the team perspective, because I mean, going through the list that you sent us, it is a huge drop of content, and I'm kind of curious, what would audiences have to look forward to, not just with this initial drop, but I mean, going forward, there's going to be original Star Plus programming as well, if I'm not mistaken.
There is. So, and I would argue that, you know, what Disney Plus has always been has been about quality. And I think with the addition of Star, where the quantity is now coming into play, along with even more quality. So I think it becomes a very compelling offering. And we are creating a whole lot of Star originals, movies and series that will be coming to the platform. On release, we have Love Victor, the spinoff from Love Simon, that series, which I'm really excited to see. As well as Solar Opposites, that adult animated comedy starring Thomas Middleditch, our Vancouver boy. And, you know, those will be hitting on platform, and we will be releasing series episodes weekly on that. And then we have lots of others coming down the pipe that are originals. One that I'm particularly excited about is Only Murders in the Building, which has Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And
Oh,
Dave, I can't wait to see what that looks like. I can't wait.
Now, I mean, I think it's important for people to know as well, because obviously this drops tomorrow and there is going to be an additional charge to access the Star Plus content, but not necessarily right away. Can you walk me through those details?
I can. So depending on when you publish this, but if you subscribe today, if you're already a subscriber, I should say, then Star is included and within the price point right through until August 22nd. That is when the price increase will go in. If you subscribe, if you're not a subscriber and you subscribe today, get the annual subscription for your best value, then you've locked it in for a year. The price going up is going up by $3. So as of tomorrow, when you sign up for Disney Plus, it will go from $8.99 to $11.99, or $89.99 for an annual to $119.99 for an annual going forward.
Is there an option to have one or the other, or is it just a question of Disney? It's the whole package, $11.99.
Star is part of Disney Plus, as you can see. Okay. It becomes the sixth title, so it is all inclusive. Again, you can choose what your kids see, but it is part of the package.
Now, I'm kind of curious, because I guess just to dovetail into my next question, I mean, this is something that's probably we're all banding about sort of industry-wide as well, but we knew the shift to streaming was coming, but it seems to have happened so much faster now. And I'm kind of curious, from a company perspective, obviously there is going to be the shift to streaming, but how do you sort of balance that now with sort of all the other avenues, which some we can still access, like home entertainment and whatnot, but others like theatrical, which we're all obviously still waiting to see what happens in the world?
Yeah, you know, you're so right. Disney has certainly put a stake in the ground on our streaming service. We're incredibly proud of Disney Plus, and I think what you can tell is that all of our brands are creating new and compelling and, you know, top quality content like Mandalorian and WandaVision, and, you know, the Pixar popcorn shorts that just hit, and, you know, all of this terrific stuff. So we're definitely in the streaming game for the long haul. That being said, we do believe in the theatrical experience, and we very much look forward to the day when theaters are open and we can screen movies again. And, you know, I think that there is a place for both in this world. There are people who will want to get out again. I'm one of them. And, you know, there are people that would rather watch things from home. And we need to find that right balance with the right timing for content for us to be able to appeal to the tastes of all Canadians.
Will Star see sort of premium exclusives like you've done in the past with Mulan and are about to do with Raya of the Last Dragon?
Well, one of the things I'm excited about with Star to that, well, you know, Premier Access right now is really on the Disney Plus side.
Right.
However, Nomadland is a great Canadian example of there is a film that we have been looking to release for a while now, and it's been very hard with COVID times. And really started in Toronto with TIFF and winning the People's Choice Award, and the TFCA has, so generously awarded it Best Picture, Actress, Director. The Vancouver Film Critics. It's just getting a ton of nods. And very much we'd love to see that film out theatrically. And so, to have a strategy now where in Toronto, we're going to release it theatrically on March 19th, the theaters are open. But on April 9th, you will be able to see it in theaters across Canada or on Star, and that will be included within the service. So I love the fact that this very beautiful film is finally going to be able to be seen by Canadians right across this beautiful country of ours.
How is, I'm kind of curious, because how has the shift to streaming changed your job? Because I mean, I can even think for me personally, and just how we get releases and how we deal with content coming at us, it feels like it's been a complete paradigm shift. I'm kind of curious, how have you and the team sort of handled this very sort of different shift to the digital realm, which seems a lot more immediate than maybe it used to in the past with theatrical?
Well, I would say this company has impeccable timing. So to launch last November, pre-pandemic, and I'd love to say that Bob Iger knew that the pandemic was coming, but I think he's very good, but I don't think he's that good, Dave. It was just terrific timing. And I think, as you can tell, all of us, we're all stuck at home, and you're looking for new, compelling things to be entertained by. And with Disney, you know what you're going to get, and you know that quality is there. And I'm incredibly proud of that. And the team has had to pivot, but in a terrific way, in a great learning way. And, we want to find the right balance. And, we've got to be nimble, and we've got to, keep up with the current COVID times, and figuring out what is the best way to put things out in this world.
And that is the name of the game these days. And I mean, I think I'm looking forward to this launch tomorrow, not just for that and see how sort of all of our jobs evolve, but for some of the content as well. I haven't seen something like Alias since it aired on television. So I'm looking forward to that one. There's a lot of deep little gems in the back catalog that are about to hit, which I think people are going to be really impressed with. And I just want to say thank you again for the time, man. This was fun and lovely to see you as always.
It's so nice to see you. Wish it was in person, man, but I'm glad to reconnect again. And thanks for taking the time to talk about Star. I really appreciate it.